Hi, everyone. Welcome to Volume 17 of the Blastout. I'm Amanda Moore, and I am excited to share with you some announcements today, but I'm even more excited to have the honor of speaking with Alan and Heather Griffin of First Do Tactics. So hang tight after these announcements, and we'll go right into the conversation with Heather and Alan. I want to first start off by sharing Next Rung. If you don't know what Next Rung is, check them out on social media. They're doing phenomenal things for the fire service, for our first responder families, and first responders in general. They're on a mission to help combat mental health issues among firefighters and first responders. They want to be a beacon of hope during difficult times that many of them face. Mental health issues and an alarming amount of suicides have become a major problem among the first responder profession. Next Rung offers free peer support via talk, text, social media messaging, email, Skype, or FaceTime. They also offer help for first responders seeking professional resources, whether that's counseling or inpatient treatment. If you or a firefighter first responder you know is in need, simply text support, that's SUPPORT, to 1-833-698-7864. And Next Rung promises to walk you through whatever it is that you are facing. Again, check them out at nextrung.org. And speaking of Next Rung, I want to share with you something cool that they have going with Philo Fuel. If you don't know what Philo Fuel is, I'm about to tell you. It's here. Philo Fuel is coffee, but it's not just any coffee. Philo Fuel is specially designed for firefighters by firefighters. They know that the long hours are grueling, and those shifts require something special in every coffee pot. Philo Fuel delivers exactly that. It's rich, robust, and ready to kickstart any shift with high-quality brew that our firefighters deserve. But Philo Fuel isn't just about great coffee. It's about community and support. Philo.USA is a firephone and operated company deeply committed to giving back. With every canister of Philo Fuel sold, a portion of the proceeds goes directly to Next Rung, who I just spoke about. It's an incredible organization dedicated to supporting the mental health of firefighters and first responders. So when you sip your Philo Fuel coffee, just remember, it's more than just your new favorite morning brew. It's a lifeline, a thank you, a helping hand to those who put their lives on the line for us every single day. Ready to make a difference? Grab a canister or two of Philo Fuel. Brew it strong, drink it proud, and let's help drive the greatest impact on mental health the fire service has ever seen. And I can speak on behalf of Philo Fuel. We got our shipment in a little while back. I've brewed the coffee. I've drank it. Anybody that knows me knows that I love my coffee. And I'm quite particular. So I was excited to get Philo Fuel in, try it, and I like it. I love it. So I hope you will check them out at philoapparel.com and order your canisters today. And then part of the proceeds goes back to helping First Rung. American Firehouse Cuisine, filmed in a nostalgic New York City firehouse set where Joe Bonanno, FDNY veteran firefighter and fitness trainer, nutritionist, is keeping the tradition of firehouse cooking alive. You can join Joe on June 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern for Provident webinar series, First Responder Nutrition. A portion of the proceeds from merchandise that Joe sells and appearances by Joe goes to Firefighter Behavioral Health Alliance. Go to AmericanFirehouseCuisine.com for more information. You can also check him out on YouTube for those firehouse cooking videos. Firefighter Rescue Survey. If our mission is to save lives, our metric must be lives saved. You can find that on Firefighter Rescue Survey. Find them on Patreon now for just $1, little as $1 a month. And you can be a part of helping the mindset match the metrics. Donations will be used to support the project expenses. Firefighter Rescue Survey, make a grab, make a report. Visit firefighterrescuesurvey.com to record a rescue. Check out the numbers, learn the data, support the mission, and listen to them on various podcasts on the topic. All right, jumping into our upcoming conferences. If you are in the fire service or you follow my social media page at all, then you know what week it is. It is the week of FDIC. It kicked off today and goes through the 20th. You can find the entire instructor lineup at fdic.com. If you want max points, make sure to catch Corley. He's going to be instructing his class at 10:30 a.m. in the 500 Ballroom on Thursday, April 18th. And I have to give a shout out to the Vigilantes. If you're a Vigilante member, make sure to join us Wednesday evening from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. for the member meetup Wednesday evening. April 19th through the 20th, Indian River Fire Conference, Vero Beach, Florida, with Dr. David Griffin of Charleston Fire Department. Cost is just $50 each day. Firewives. If you've not read Inspirations from a Wife on a Mission Following Tragedy by Melissa Griffin, I highly recommend you grab a copy. It's a quick yet humbling read. The book describes the struggles of a spouse dealing with an emergency responder with PTSD and how she was able to help her husband recover. It is heart-touching, and as a fire wife, it was nice to hear how another fire wife was able to come out on the other side while helping her husband. So again, it's just a quick read. That book is called Inspirations from a Fire Wife on a Mission Following Tragedy by Melissa Griffin. My husband got me that copy, I want to say a couple years ago, and I've read it a couple of times since then. It was sitting on my desk, and I thought, yes, okay, I'm going to make sure that I mention it on this Blastout. April 20th, Mid-America Fools, Spring Break Your Habits, located here in Oklahoma City at the Oklahoma City Fire Department Training Center. It's open to all career and volunteer firefighters. Membership is not required to attend. They do have a 4-hour hands-on training choices, VES and search, ventilation and ladders, and hose handling, followed by the option to join for live fire scenarios in the afternoon. SCBA and bunker gear is required. Lunch and t-shirt is provided with registration. So go find Mid-America Fools, social media, check them out. I'm going to have all the links to everything that I'm announcing in the comments after I get done. April 26th through 28th, Lakeside Fire Conference. This great firefighter training opportunity is being held at the historic Canocti Harbor Resort in Kelseyville, California, with 1 day of lecture and 2 days of hot, with Fire Life training instructors Todd Edwards, Tim Nagim, and Brad Bennett. They're providing 3 days of fireground leadership, forcible entry, stretching and moving hose, and searching for victims in real buildings under real fire conditions. So if you're in the area, make sure you check them out. Coming up May 1st through 3rd, Search First Academy, Heartland Training Facility in El Cajon, California. This is a live fire training with fast rescue solutions. Check out Grit First Fire Training on Instagram or click the link in the comments for registration. May 3rd through the 4th, Sawdust City Fire Expo held in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. The Sawdust City Fire Expo is premier firefighting conference in Wisconsin. Sponsors and donations are welcome, so if you're interested in sponsoring or donating, you can contact Eric Thill or find them on Facebook. May 6th through the 8th, the West Coast Leadership Conference, formerly known as Writing the Right Seek Conference. It's an annual conference dedicated to bringing in the best instructors in the American Fire Service to the Pacific Northwest. They have changed the name and the goals of the conference to reach all levels of firefighters, from rookie firefighter to fire chief. This year's conference will again be held in Spokane, Washington, and will feature 3 educational tracks. It's going to have the firefighter track, company officer track, and chief officer track. Each track is designed for those in that current rank or those who are aspiring to promote to the next rank. Find these instructors there for the 2024 conference. You're going to have Ryan Selleck, Rob Fisher, Jeff Rothmeyer, Michael Dozier, Corley Moore, Stephen Schaefer, Frank Lieb, Colonel Osmer, and Dr. Christian Medyanek. Departments who purchase 4 seats at regular price will get the 5th seat seat free. You're going to want to email youngofficersonfire@gmail.com to claim your 5th seat after purchase. May 7th through the 9th, First Due Operations Conference. I told you I'm getting ready to talk to Heather and Alan. Carolina Beach, North Carolina. Spouses are welcomed and encouraged to attend with their firefighter. Firewife Life, my friends Tracy McCart and Kathy Edwards. They are proud to be a part of this spouses event for this conference. May 13th through the 15th, the Fireground Commander, Central Virginia, located in the historic Henrico Theater in Henrico, Virginia. Catch the lineup on Monday. You're going to have Corley Moore, John Hawick, and Nicholas Papa. That's on Monday. On Tuesday, you're going to have Jason Hoffelman and Brent Brooks. And Wednesday is going to be Phil Jose, Tony Carroll, and Jess Rodzinka. June 12th through the 15th, Great Lakes Hot, Michigan's premier fire conference. It's a 4-day event with the first 2 days being lectures, followed by an additional 2 days of hands-on skill training with live fire scenarios for select tracks. July 21st through the 25th, Ohio Fire and Rescue offers development conference in Columbus, Ohio. Instructors include Nick Zamiska, Corley Moore, Jonah Smith, Brad Stoll, Jesse Quintali, Taylor Switzer, Christopher Naum, Joseph Polanzani, Brian Anderson, Abigail Boudet, and Rochelle Zimlock. And I am so sorry if I butcher these names. September 12th through the 14th, First in Fire Conference. Ryan McCormick puts this on every year and does a heck of a good job. It's going to be held in Little Rock, Arkansas. September 12th, instructors include Kurt Isaacson, Scott Thompson, Corley Moore, Clyde Gordon, Andy Starnes, Eric Budd, David Mellon, Todd Edwards, and Jeremy Donch. October 24th through the 26th, registration for the Alamo Fire Conference is now open. Here's a glimpse of their incredible lineup. Keynote speaker is Chief Kurt Isaacson from Escambia County Fire Rescue. Engine Operations class, Tim Klett from FDNY. Tower Ladder Tips and Tricks class, Mike Champo from FDNY. Search Operations, Rich Stack from Chicago Fire. Mayday Mindset, Robert Ramirez, Mayday Mindset. Lecture series is Dennis Laguerre from Oakland Fire and Laguerre Engineering Fire Department Consulting. Command class is Walt Lewis from the Orlando Fire Department. Register at alamofireconference.com. And again, I'm going to have those links in the comments. November 8th through the 10th, registration is now live for them Fire Conference. It's organized by the Spindletop Foals and the IAFF Local 397. The conference will be held in Beaumont and Port Arthur, Texas. It's a 3-day event and the cost is $225. Includes instructors such as Cody Trustrell, LJ Geist, Kyle Romagus, and Tom Hollick. This training event is 2604 and TIFMAS approved. 100% of the tuition is reimbursed to career and volunteer fire departments that sign up for this through Texas Forest Fire Service Fire Connect. Raffle tickets are available on the website for just $5 each. Sponsors and donations, including raffle donations, are encouraged. If you're interested in sponsoring or donating, email Nathan at forthemfireconference.com. And that wraps up volume 17 of the Blastout announcements. Like I said earlier, please hang tight as I get Alan and Heather Griffin with First Due Tactics in here to talk about their conferences and what they have coming up just next month. Thank you guys so much. Be blessed, stay safe, and if you're at FDIC this week, I hope to see you there. Thanks again. Bye-bye. I am so excited to have my guests on. It's a husband and wife team. It is the first time I've had the opportunity to talk to a husband and wife, and also a first time to have a firefighter on as well. So I want to welcome Heather and Alan Griffin. They are with First Due Tactics. And I am just going to jump right into sharing their bios, and then we'll get into asking Heather and Alan questions about their upcoming conferences that they have. So Chief Alan Griffin has over 31 years of invaluable experience in the North Carolina Fire Service, currently serving as the fire chief of the Carolina Beach Fire Department. where he has held this position for over 12 years. Prior to this, he worked as the Emergency Services Director for Montgomery County, North Carolina. Chief Griffin's passion for professional development is evident in his extensive teaching experience as a certified instructor for the state of North Carolina. For over 27 years, he has shared his expertise with aspiring firefighters and seasoned professionals alike. He has made a significant impact on the future of the fire service. His wife, Heather, has worked extensively in various roles of emergency management over the past 20 years, researching, designing, and developing emergency management programs associated with crisis response, disaster planning, and healthcare preparedness at the local, state, and federal levels. She currently works at Novant Health New Hanover Regional Medical Center as the health care preparedness coordinator, serving a 7-county region responsible for ensuring that healthcare facilities are adequately prepared to respond to emergencies and disasters. They've been married for 10 years this October with 3 children and are eagerly awaiting the arrival of their first grandchild in September. Together, they have successfully established and operate First Do Tactics, a company dedicated to improving and motivating the modern fire service through high quality instruction since 2019. Heather and Alan, does that sum it up? Got anything else you want to share?
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
That is really awesome. You guys have been involved in a lot of highly important jobs. So thank you both so much for agreeing to come on. Like I said, you're the first husband and wife and first firefighter, fire chief. It was like it might as well go big on this one. So I not only got husband and wife on, but I got a fire chief. So that's really, really cool.
Chief firefighter, that's what it is. The chief
Firefighter, always a firefighter, right?
He always tells me that he doesn't like when I tell people that he's a fire chief. He always wants me to say, my career and my profession is a firefighter. My rank just so happens to be chief. I'm like, well, it doesn't sound that great if you say it like that.
Right? As we're bragging on them, it's like, no, it sounds, yeah, I get it. But I also understand there. I mean, it's very important for them that they are firefighters. So, well, welcome, guys. Let's jump into it. You guys have a conference coming up next month, just a few weeks away.
Yep.
Awesome. First Do Operations Conference held there on Carolina Beach. I want to ask, I've never been to Carolina Beach. Is it a destination? Is it a place where firefighters go for training that they could take their families and have fun things to do?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's kind of what our town is, a beach town. It's a small little barrier island in North Carolina, so we're the island life here is great. So we have a beautiful boardwalk and a boat basin, and it's what you would think of in most beach towns. And so when we put the conference together, we thought, you know what a great opportunity to have families come to our conference and firefighters get to train, wives and kids get to go to the beach. So we just saw an opportunity to capitalize that, and we did. So it's been very successful for us, and what we see is a lot of repeat returners who come here every year, and and every once in a while we're out and about on the island, we bump into a family of firefighters. They're like, we were at your conference, and I brought my whole family.
Find us during fireworks, and in the summer we have fireworks every Thursday night.
Oh, wow.
And it's put on by the town. So when people are vacationing down here, they'll come find him, and I'm usually down there with him. So
oh, that's awesome. So they'll come for the fire conference, like it so much, and bring their families back to vacation.
Oh yeah,
they have. We've had a lot of people do that.
That's awesome. I love that. I love anytime there is a conference that is like a destination location, just because it oftentimes trying to get a wife to come to the conference is hard enough, but if you can sweeten the deal by it being a destination, it makes it a little easier.
Say no to the beach. I mean, if you don't live on the beach, I mean, that's not necessarily my favorite place to go because I live here. When I want to go on vacation, I want to go to the mountains. But if you don't live around the beach, like what better thing can you come to if you're just coming to
nothing in my opinion, absolutely nothing. I would be at the beach. I someday hope to have a house at the beach, so maybe not on the beach, but near the beach. That would be nice. So tell me a little bit about how First Do Tactics started and the motivation behind the conference that you guys put on each year.
Yeah, so I've been a state instructor. I think my bio talked about it since, it's probably been 27 or plus years of just doing fire instruction around the state, being part of fire academies, being, doing those different things. And um, it got to the point that I was being asked to go and speak at different fire departments or weekend schools or even conferences. So we kind of, the right thing to do at that point was to make somewhat of a business so that we could, have the ability to write off taxes because you're traveling and they're paying you. And you got to go, okay, I got to write off the fuel and the
Yeah.
hotel bill and all that stuff. So it kind of drove that. But in all honesty, with what Kurt does down with CFT and so many people have been through his school. And I was at the 2012 HROC, and we came back and I was like, man, I could do something similar to this here. And then we stewed on it for several years. And
You did. You kept that part to yourself.
Yeah,
You didn't really talk to me about that yet.
So we were back down at, I think it was H Rock or maybe a Water on the Fire. We was at one of them, and I was down, and I texted her one day and I was like, I swear we have the same capability of what Kurt has there with the beach and the draw. And
Yeah.
I watched not just firefighters but wives and stuff coming in and out and hanging out. And so I was texting Heather saying, hey, and I grabbed Kurt at one of the breaks and we were just sitting around. Actually, classes started back, and I finally got his attention for a minute, and I was talking to him about it, and his exact words to me was like, "Just do it, just book it, do it, they'll come." So I was like, "Okay, now let's back up. Are you willing to come?" So we had, Kurt came to the first one we done.
Oh,
Todd
that's
was
awesome.
here, and it just kind of from the first one, it just really exploded and did well. And we're such a small venue; we can set about 200 in the ballroom. It's not a big, huge event, but it's very fireman family friendly. Like what we love about it is that when we break in the afternoons, we can go in the lobby and have a social. We go down to a local restaurant, and the whole conference kind of comes right back together. And you almost see the whole conference hang together for the whole week.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So, and that's what really drew us to do it. There was a point there in about that window where we saw, and I think a lot of instructors around saw it, that the fire service was taking some nasty turns in the instructional world. Maybe not the best instructional techniques going on. Maybe a lot of firefighters were losing that love for the job. And I won't say it, all of them. It was a small pocket, but I think a lot of us saw an opportunity to make a difference. And,
Yeah.
I looked up and I said, hey, I've got probably 8, 10 years at that point left in this, and I'm down to 3 now, whatever. So I said, I want to leave my mark on the fire service, and
Absolutely.
I want to motivate the young generation because everybody talks about the young generation, but they're not a lost cause. They're there. We just got to grab them. We got to grab them and train them. And what
Yeah.
we got to do is bring that brother and sisterhood back, and that's
Yes.
really what drove us. And Heather buys into it and loves it. She
Not
loves.
at first. Not at first. I told him when he called me from Pensacola and told me about this plan, I was like, can you show me your business model, please? I need
Love
to
it.
know what you're really thinking about doing this.
Yeah, you got to know what you're backing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
No,
but in the beginning, I was hesitant. But I mean, it's been so much fun just trying, just meeting all the new firemen. I talk to them on the phone. I'm emailing with them, and then they come to the conference, meet face to face, and I mean, I love that part of being able to see
It's
everybody.
got to be so rewarding, for the both of you guys to watch it, all the hard work that you pour into it, and then to watch it unfold, and to know that you are making a difference. Because, the more I travel with Corley, the more I realize that depart not all departments get behind training, and especially paying for training, whether they can't afford it or whether they just too greedy, I don't know. But so to be able to bring that there, who knows how many people that you guys touch there that may not have been able to make it to a conference elsewhere.
Right.
So it's awesome.
You said that. I mean, that there's nothing like that in North Carolina prior to.
No, it wasn't. And I think probably my biggest motivational factor is my town's been very open to me traveling. But what I see as I move around North Carolina is that a lot of these fire departments won't send their staff to FDIC. They won't send their staff to Pensacola. They won't send their staff to, to the PDX and all that when it was going on. So what we found was like, how can we get these guys here? I
Yeah.
bring them to North Carolina because a lot of departments go, we're not going to let you travel out of the state. Find
Hmm.
something in the state. And we've got some amazing instructors in North Carolina, but they hear us all the time. So it was like, how do we grab some of these guys that are nationwide
Yeah.
that, and even myself, when I go to FDIC, and I'm not going to go this year because my daughter's senior year and a lot of stories behind that, but I didn't want
Sure.
to miss out on prom or graduation.
Absolutely
So
not.
this year we didn't go, but I go there and I watch people line up in the hallway and can't get in the classroom because the door closes. And I'm like, I can bring that guy to my conference and they can go out in the lobby and hang out with them for an hour and just talk shop. And
Yes.
that's what I love about what we're able to do. So,
I
Yeah.
think that on the evaluations that I get back, the biggest thing that I see from a lot of the guys is that they love the socials that we do at night, where the instructors are there and they can interact with them on a very personal,
Yep.
not professional level, and it makes it easier for them. They might not have had the chance to ever speak to an
Yeah.
instructor they've been following for a while or
And
whatever.
that's what I hear from those that attend are they're just oftentimes so amazed at how down to earth these instructors are. And these instructors are like, we're your brothers, or your sisters. Like, we're just one of you.
yeah,
So, but I can see how like a conference like yours where they can have that type of different relationship, how impactful that would be. That rather than just kind of, seeing them at a class and then not having the opportunity to even shake their hand.
right,
So,
Yeah.
right. No, definitely.
no, it sounds like you guys got something great going there. What can firefighters expect when attending one of your conferences?
So first off is very laid back. We want it to be laid back. And of course, we won't say that it's, um, everybody's slumming or coming in. But hey, if you come in your fire department t-shirt or you're at the beach. So
We're at the beach,
you,
so flip flops
if you come
are
in flip flops, it's
acceptable.
fine. Other than the hands-on part. But we wanted it to be a very relaxed atmosphere. And one of the things that we started a couple of years back was we at the end of the day we dropped one of the afternoon lectures off, and we said, you know what, they're PowerPoint, they're talk, there's just too much teaching going on. Let's just take the whole last hour and a half of the day and just do an open mic. And we bring 3 or 4 instructors up, put them in front of the room. And last year we brought in like the beach chairs in the room, like the high top chairs, put the instructors up front, and just said, hey, we had an engine day and a truck day. And the students absolutely loved it. We were like, just you guys get comfortable, come in the room. This is an open mic. If something's on your mind, and ask the instructors, and then we end it with a little social in the lobby. So a lot of that conversation spills right in the lobby.
Yeah.
And like you said, people realize really quick that some of these guys that they may have thought was just, instructor they've always admired, they find out this is just a guy that can sit around the kitchen table with a
Yeah.
cup of coffee and talk for hours about fire.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and they're just they're one of all of us. And
Yeah.
I think we break that barrier sometimes because these guys, some of them are a little starstruck. They come in. I've had guys, firemen come up, they're like, hey, can you go introduce me to so and so? Like I had a fireman that was there last year, just absolutely thought Champo was the best thing ever, right? So, and one of his
Corley
buddies,
still gets that way.
yeah, he come on, he's like, do you think Champo would mind if he comes over and gets a pic? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
and Champ was like, yes. And then next thing I know, 20 minutes
They're
later,
singing
they,
karaoke.
they were hanging out. So it was just, I
What
think
a what an
realize,
incredible memory for that person to
Yeah.
have.
these guys are firemen. They're firemen at heart. We're all firemen at heart.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love about being a small conference. And I'm not ashamed to be a small conference. We love it. And I don't, I've had people go, we're selling out. Like, why don't you guys move to a bigger venue? Like, never. We won't,
We
No,
want
you
it to
got
stay.
something special there.
we want it to be just what it is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we talked about it being family oriented. So Heather, share with me. I know you guys have Firewife Life coming in. Um, Tracy McCart and Kathy Edwards. Share with me what firefighters that bring their spouses, what a spouse has to look forward to.
So I'll step up a little bit, but we have tried to grow the wives, spouses, significant others portion, because I really there's so many times that I was just hanging out in the lobby and I would see the wives with their husbands and they weren't kind of socializing with the rest of us. And I know why, because I was there. I sat in their shoes and I, was intimidated and, didn't know anybody. And I was happy in my own little world. But once I started to meet people and I branched out, and I mean, you wouldn't say I'm shy, but I think I'm shy in the beginning of meeting people. But, in the first year, we didn't really do anything. And then our second year, we just did a small little gathering down by the pool, very impromptu, and just if you're here, come down, hang out with us. And we did that for the following year. And last year was the first year that we actually did an organized kind of Firewife Life program. And so there's several people from Firewife Life group that were there, and Tracy and Kathy did. Well, no, Tracy wasn't there. I think it was just Kathy. Was it? I can't remember it. I feel bad. Don't kill me, guys. I got my brain fried. It's Monday.
I have no doubt Kathy could pull the show. Kathy or Tracy, either one solo.
There was one year where Tracy came, Kathy didn't, and the other Tracy came, and they keep going back and forth. But this year we're going to do something similar to we did last year. Only we're not going to make it so organized. We're going to just have a spouses social at one of the restaurants. It's literally with steps from the hotel parking lot.
Nice.
They have a big outdoor venue with lots of space, and we're gonna just try and focus on getting everyone together and hanging out and have a good time, have some light drinks and snacks and stuff like that. And we're going to talk, I'm still finalizing with Kathy and Tracy to see if we're going to actually try and do something formalized, but it's an outdoor venue, so it could be hard, and it's open to the public. So we're just working.
I think just the gathering, attending these conferences with Corley early on, I would just stick to myself. So it wasn't until I started, meeting other wives. I was like, it's what I needed my whole life, that my whole, being Corley and I've been married, 28 years. He's been on the fire service 27. So for, all these years, it was what I needed, but never knew I needed it. And now my best friends are scattered all across the United States, and I met them at fire conferences.
Yeah.
So extreme. If you would have asked me this,
it's an amazing group, and we have some good times together, and it's a great support network too. And I think that's what I love the most about it, is being able to pick up the phone and text or call or make plans. And like you guys just went on a trip. I mean, that's like so awesome. I just love the friendships that I've made throughout it.
And that literally was in the lobby of a CFT fire conference. It was, me opening my mouth saying, "Hey, we should go on a trip." And the next thing I know, Jody takes off with it, and we find ourselves in, I can't even remember now, on the East Coast. So it was a lot of fun. I just, I'm just like, yeah, let's pick up and go. I'm happy to do it. So Mystic, that's where we were at. I was like, where do we go? But so does it cost for the wives to come, for the spouses to attend?
No, no.
Okay.
We have never charged. And honestly, it's one of his main points that he doesn't want people to feel like they have to pay for their wives to come. We want them to come and hang out and go to the socials with us and be part of the conference. So
awesome.
Right now we're not charging for anything.
Okay. Awesome.
There is a registration link on our website. And I did post it on the Firewife Life Facebook page. So there's a link just so we have an idea of how many people are going to be there.
Okay. So if you're a firewife and you're listening, make sure you go to Firewife Life on Facebook. And because a lot of information you're missing out if you're not a part of that group. So So, Alan, have you noticed more firefighters being open to bring in their families, their spouses?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think the first year we didn't see a lot, and then we started seeing that grow. And even last year we had some that brought their kids, and
Oh yeah,
like everybody's playing and entertaining with the
the
kids
babies.
and the babies, and it's just like
Everybody's fighting over the baby.
so it's 100% what we wanted out of this.
Mhm.
We want that laid back. We want it to be where it's all inclusive, and the good part of that is we feel like that's what makes people want to come back.
Well,
Yes.
we've talked before about how back in the day when you were younger, much younger, that you wouldn't it wasn't like acceptable to bring your spouse. I don't know. You say it better than I do, but
Well, no, I think there wasn't venues back then. It may have been the community college, or it may have been, even I've been fire weekend schools. We were at a high school, and you're in maybe not a bigger city. You're in more of a rural area or a smaller town. So it's like wives are like, what am I going to do there? Like going to sit in a hotel room. There's
Yeah.
nothing to do, and then you're just going to hang out with all your fire guys. And so it wasn't really. I wouldn't say it wasn't family friendly, but it was nothing for families to do.
Yeah.
And there are still a lot of those that go on. I mean, today I go to conferences, and she does too. That's like, yeah, I'm not going to go there. There's nothing to do. I'm sitting in a hotel room. But we just saw the opportunity with what we have here on the island to make it that, and not to belittle the ones that can't. It's just
Sure.
the whole goal was that so many times the firemen have to go to classes, or they may choose to go to class, but they're gone for 5 days away from their family. And
Yeah.
so this gives them an opportunity to, hey, make a little mini vacation, or maybe get the grandparents to watch the kids, and it become a little date trip, and
Sure.
you get to hang out with the best fireman in the world. So
Yeah. I've always respected and appreciated Corley's job and what he does, but I have a bigger appreciation now that I've had the opportunity to travel to conferences and talk to other firefighters and their spouses and things like that. And it's just opened my world up more to his world, because before it was he goes to work and then he comes home and it's two different worlds. And now I've been incorporated into his world, and it's been very, very good for our relationship
yeah.
in that way.
I think that's definitely helped our relationship with the public safety, emergency services, responder role.
Yeah.
Both of us coming from that background, that's definitely helped make it easier transition. So I come home, we know the same people and we work with the same people, so we can have good conversations and vent, and neither one of us are, like, all right, stop talking. I don't
Yeah.
know what you're talking about. So
Right.
you're, I mean, it's like it's good if you can understand the role of what your spouse is doing.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, regarding vendors and sponsor opportunities, do you guys have those for any of your conferences? Do you currently have the for the one coming up in May?
yeah, we do. We do have sponsors, and a lot of them are more of the manufacturer level, like with Keyhose or Elcar. Then we have some other vendors that jump in. Columbia Southern is going to be there. Southeastern Eastern Fire Apparatus. We got Atlantic Coast Fire Apparatus. We have those vendors that come in. A lot of them just it's because the students that come to our conference are basically clients of theirs. So they love
Okay.
to come, and they'll sponsor the coffee breaks, or they sponsor the socials, or they'll sponsor the water during the hands-on training. So, there's not a large group. We have about 7 or 8 that come in. We don't really put out a big call for vendors, but it's we always are open to it. And we really truly take whatever sponsorship comes in, we try to roll it right back to the students. And
Nice.
we as sponsors come on board, we add more stuff for the students, and it's what we wanted to do, and it does help. If it wasn't for sponsors, honestly, we'd have a conference and maybe coffee, hopefully. But they make it where we have sometimes snacks. We even fed lunch, socials. So yeah, we love the sponsors, and a lot of them are there by default because Key Hose is shipping all the hose in, and Elcart's bringing us a whole bunch of nozzles. So it's those guys are kind of there by default, but they're very generous to be part of it. So.
Yeah, and every one of them I've ever come across has been nothing but kind and welcoming, and honestly, they become friends as well. So
Oh yeah,
you build
yeah,
relationships with the vendors just as much as you do with the other firefighters and their families that are there.
yep.
So, if somebody was wanting to sponsor or a vendor, how would they get a hold of you?
So yeah, they could just email us, and they can go through our website, the firstdotactics.com or firstdotactics@gmail.com, and they could email us, and we could talk about sponsorship opportunities. We, like I said, and we do have booth space out there. We don't do a lot, but most of the guys do set up, their tables and have stuff out for the students to be part of. So. One thing we didn't want to do, and no disrespect to any of the other vendors, we didn't want it to be a trade show because there is a place for that trade show
Sure.
atmosphere. And, we don't want guys to come out and girls come out of the break or on break and, they're trying to, buy a pair of gloves or a hood or whatever. So we
Yeah.
didn't want it to be that. There's plenty of
We don't
vendor
have
shows
room
for
for
that.
it.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't really have the room for it.
So we try to just keep it at a level that is not that the students feel like they can't just be out and enjoy themselves. And none of the vendors really ever do that. But there are some trade shows that are just designed that way.
Sure.
And then
Yeah.
for ours, it's more the manufacturer type rep or the higher level ones that come in and honestly, at the end of the day, the students appreciate the extra stuff they get, and it's good. It's good visibility for them. So we would welcome anybody that want to come on board. And every year we have one or two more jump on board that call us and they're like, I want to be part of this, and we're like, okay, here's some couple options. And I usually say like, hey, you want the brakes on Monday? You want, what do you
Yeah.
want? It's not like we're charging them to for us to profit from it. We're wanting the students to have the best experience they can have.
Sure. No, absolutely sounds like it. What about volunteers? Do you guys welcome volunteers? If so, how
Yeah,
would they
so
get a
we have a good solid team right now of guys that help, and we're always open to that. So right now we don't really have an avenue to do the volunteer side.
I think the best way is just be email, and then
Yeah,
they can talk with
and
you.
talk with us because we definitely it takes this conference in May takes a lot of people to jump in and do a lot of good things. All the instructors jump in. We had to build out, there's build out day on Monday and try to get all the hot tracks set up beforehand and a lot of logistics of moving parts. So we got a pretty solid team, but we're always welcome to look at that and explore that option if somebody wanted to come in. So
and they'd get a hold of you the same way through that Gmail account?
yeah, that's probably the best way. Yeah.
Okay. What about for those that are attending, where's the best place for them to go to get the most updated information?
So typically, social media like Instagram and Facebook is where we do most of our stuff.
Everything is on the website too,
Yeah.
and we'll try and post. But if there's changes and stuff during the conference, it's the easiest and fastest way is just through social media.
Okay. And that's that first.
Someone will stand up and give an announcement.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the downside of being small is that we can't have the apps or we can't have group text or group email. Just it's cost prohibitive for us.
Sure.
We just have to rely on social media and tell everybody like this first day of class, we're like, hey, watch the Facebook, watch the Instagram. If something happens and we got to change something, we'll announce it there.
Yeah.
Because it's a free platform, hate to be that way, but we looked into having like the group text message stuff and group emails, and it's a little bit costly to do that when you're trying to just push stuff out. So
Sure.
We don't have a whole lot of changes that
Right.
we thankfully we haven't had anything be canceled or changed because of weather. And down here it's just you can it's North Carolina. If you don't like the weather, you just wait a little bit and it'll change. And it could be pouring down rain, thunderstorms, and then bright, sunny, and humid like within an hour. So thankfully, we haven't had to cancel anything.
No, we've been very lucky with
Yeah.
weather, and it's going to bite us one time. We know it, but I think the students understand that. So I
Yeah.
think one year we had to
We had
end
that
about an hour
thunderstorm,
early,
yeah.
and rush everybody off the hot sites because we have thunderstorm to come in on us. That time of year we start getting the pop-up thunderstorms, and we got everybody out and inside safely, and that's the only one we've had. That cut us about an hour short that day, but that was it.
And that's understandable. I don't think anybody holds out against, Mother Nature. So
yeah, a
but
little rain don't hurt you when you're training, but you start getting the lightning and thunder, you have to be careful.
it gets a bit scary. Yeah. And so your social media is on both Facebook and Instagram. Is it that First Dude Tactics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I always, when I in the show, in the comments, when we post it, I will add the links to that as well. So I'll make sure to add those in with yours. But that wraps it up. Is there anything else that you guys would like to share that I didn't cover?
No, it's an honor to be on.
Thank you for letting us come on and share about it.
It's truly my honor to have you both on. Thank you. I know you're busy people, and you dealt with my internet issues from several days ago. So I appreciate your patience with that and just agreeing to come on. It was a great conversation. So
that was great. I'm glad we could do it. I'm
Yeah,
glad it worked
absolutely.
out.
I look forward to coming and visiting you guys there at the beach. So it's on my list. So
Yeah.
all right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Have a great week.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.